There are rumours circulating that Ibrahima Konaté has been offered a brand new contract, but will he accept or will he reject as Real Madrid continue to circle around the Liverpool centre-back? Virgil van Dijk hits out back at Wayne Rooney, and we have some more stuff to talk about. People, it's Monday morning. You know what that means. It's the morning meet-up show. Happy Monday. Let's get into this.
Hi, this is Jordan Henderson, and you're watching Team Kop-ish.
Being free back again, ripping LFC till the end, so go on tell a friend. If they rockin' red, they're a 10 champions, be the best, we come again. Kop-ish clean up in every region, elevation in every season. Car dropping all the fast match, dropping real rap, and drifty go on tell them this is that, this is that. This is Kop-ish, this is Kop-ish. Reppin' Liverpool till the end, champions, we the best, come again. This is that, this is Kop-ish, this is Kop-ish. The main free back up in your screen, real ones know this the place to be. This is Kop-ish.
Good morning, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, do smash that subscribe button and the like button as well. If you are here, as always, big up to yourselves. Thank you for being a part of the Kopish community and smash that like button as well. Banter, fun, debate, laughter, disagreements are all welcome in the chat. The only thing we don't accept is disrespect. Big up to each and every one of you. Happy Monday. Guys, you know by now how I like to start these shows on a Monday. When I do the morning show, we always start with a little bit of shirt association. Liam already on the smoke. I see it. I see it already on the smoke. But no, big up everyone. And the shirt I'm going to ask you guys to associate a player with today is this one. Our first Nike kit of all time. Our first ever Nike kit. Our previous sponsor before Adidas came back to the fore. Well, who's the first person you think of when you see this shirt? And before anyone says anything cheeky, no, this isn't mine. This is Stevie's one. This is too small for me. But who is the first player you think of when you see this shirt, guys? So I'm seeing a couple of Diogos. RIP, rest in peace, Diogo. Seeing a Mane / Firmino. I'm seeing Hendo. I'm seeing a Thiago. Kabak and Nat Phillips. Oh, hey, remember that? Remember that? Reece Williams is another one who comes to mind. Who else is there? I was gonna say Ben Davies, but he never really wore this, did he? Like, he only wore it in the photo shoot, and then we never saw him again. Basement. He was the first person who was ever inducted into the basement. Who else is there? I'm trying to think. Simicas. Simicas is another person. We signed him before we got this kit, or as we got this new kit sponsor. For me, if I'm going to be honest, the first player I think of is actually Thiago. I remember when the news first broke that we were linked to Thiago, guys, and it came after a 4-0 loss to Man City after we had won the league in 1920. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think I did a watch long for that game. I might have done it by myself. But it was a dark game. Like, we were really bad that day. I'm trying to remember if I actually did a watch long. I think I did. But it was a rubbish game. And we were really bad. And then news broke straight away that we were linked with Thiago. And I was like, typical PR spin. We have a bad performance, a bad loss, and then news comes out about Thiago. Little did I know, though, that a few weeks later we'd be signing the Maestro. And what a player he was. Didn't get to see the absolute best of him due to the injuries, etc. But man, I think back to the days when we had prime Fabinho, Thiago, Gini Wijnaldum, Henderson. That midfield fed generations, man. If we had a midfield like that today, crazy. But yeah, the first person I think of is Thiago. But that show will always hold a special place in my heart because of Diogo Jota as well. And it's 4 years to the day since we played, I think, Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, where we beat them 2-0. And obviously he got on the score sheet in that game. And as a footballer, just predatory instincts and brilliant. But as a human being, man, he's going to be sorely missed and will always be remembered. The Kop did a fantastic job of the whole crowd at Anfield still do a fantastic job of honouring him on the 20th minute. I know the players will still hold him in their hearts. And yeah, man, I just wish we'd won more with that night kit, because I really do like that night kit. I think it's a really nice kit. Didn't like it at first, but it really did grow on me. But yeah, very, very nice kit. Right, we have some stuff to talk about, don't we, guys? According to Indy, Liverpool have offered a new contract to Ibrahima Konaté. Now, we don't know any of the details of the contract. We don't know what it means. We don't know how far negotiations have gone. But I think it's positive that these rumors are coming out. And obviously we know he's on around 70,000 a week at the moment, which at the time of joining wasn't bad. But then you look at how long he's been here, the contribution he's made to the club, he should be on more than that. I think Luis Diaz leaving was a big part of him leaving, was the salary he was on, and the fact that I don't think Liverpool wanted to go past a certain threshold for him. However, Konate is younger, and I'm going to be honest with you, like, I still think he's our second most important defender. I know his season has been inconsistent this season. I'll be the first to admit that. But I also think that there's been a lot of over the top criticism of him and how he has played. Shout out to Luca. Brings up a fair point as well. Cal, he didn't play 25 plus games until last season. I completely agree with that. That's I have no argument or rebuttal to that, bro. And I understand. However, what I will say is, you look at some of the other contracts in and around Europe, and I think we broke it down recently. I think Saliba's on around 190. Gabriel is on around 190. Virgil's obviously on around 300-400. You look at others around Europe, Marquinhos and Rudiger and all these other centre-backs who, even if you might not think he's as good as them, he's still in that same bracket. He should be getting something similar to that. Given the importance to the squad, given the difficulty I think it would be in replacing him, I think personally he should be getting around anything between 180 and 220. I think that would be a fair contract given today's market and the fact that there's not too many centre-backs out there who we could actually go and get who are on his level or better. But also we have to remember Real Madrid is circling as well. And look, we saw what happened with Trent. They were able to get Trent from us on a free. And he's a player that grew up in the Liverpool Academy and came through the ranks and spoke about wanting to be a captain, and Real Madrid managed to turn his head. So not saying that just because Konate didn't come through Liverpool that he's not going to love Liverpool as much as Trent, but there's a high chance he'd have admired Real Madrid growing up as well. So I make that point to say this. We have to be mindful of this. We have to think about how we want to navigate this. So I want to ask you guys in the comment section. Currently at the moment, our four centre-backs are Virgil, Konate, Gomez, and Leone. Now, I think we can all agree that Virgil and Leone, they're going nowhere. We did try and sign Mark Gahey, wasn't successful. I think we may look at losing. So I'm trying to remember when Joe Gomez's contract runs out. So let me have a quick look. So Joe Gomez's contract expires in 2027. So, okay, we'd imagine Gomez stays for another season then after this one. And maybe we lose him on a free. Do we really want to be losing Konate? Because right now I think we need a centre-back. I said from ages ago, we need 5 centre-backs. A top team needs 5 centre-backs. Right now we have 4. Currently, we need 1. That's if no one goes. Do we still get rid of Konate? And in fact, let's say it's out of our hands. Let's say Konate does go. We need 2 centre-backs. Who are the 2 centre-backs you guys would go for? For me, the first name is Schlotterbeck. I do think we need a left-footed centre-back. that would allow us to play a back three when we want to, or a back four and rotate with Virgil and Schlotterbeck. Or Schlotterbeck could even play left back. Sometimes we can invert. Schlotterbeck opens a lot of doors, in my opinion. And let's say we're able to keep Joe Gomez, and Joe Gomez is the utility defender who can cover right back, left back, and centre back, because that's what your fifth choice is ideally meant to do. And we'd have one of the best at covering those three positions, in my opinion, for someone who is at status in the squad. Who would be the other one, guys? And I see a lot of you saying Lacroix, for example, from Crystal Palace. Look, shout out to Jamrock, because Jamrock was one of the first to say it, and we kind of all shut it down as a community. And like, we're kind of seeing how much of a steal that signing was now. So Lacroix, his current contract, so bear in mind, Palace only bought it for 15 mil, which is crazy. His contract doesn't end until 2029, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. The way that I saw Crystal Palace negotiate in the summer with regards to Eze and regards to Mark Gahey, put the fries in the bag with that one. Put the fries in the bag. That one ain't happening. Definitely not to us. Palace will be asking for silly money. Palace will probably be asking for like 80, 90 mil minimum. Minimum. Shout out to Luca again. Says Jacquet. A couple of people are saying Jacquet. I can't sit here and tell you I know much about him. I've been told about him, but I don't know anything about him. I've never watched a game of his. I don't even think I've watched highlights, so I'd be lying to you if I could comment on him. Who else are you guys thinking? I think most people here are in agreement that Schlotterbeck would be a good signing. Who would be the other one? Because if Konate does go, guys, I don't think getting a young profile centre back is the way forward. Personally, I think we want to get someone a bit more experienced, a bit more seasoned. Who would be that second centre back, guys? Mukiele from Sunderland. I think he just signed in the summer, just gone, so I don't think that happens. Loic Baday's at Leverkusen, if I'm not mistaken. Big up Terrell Gunner TV. Big up yourself, brother. Romero from Big Country. I tell you what, Romero's good, and he has changed my opinion on him. I just thought he was just this rash centre-back who had good games here and there, but also had rash moments. Romero's been a lot better. I just think Van der Ven's better, but I prefer Schlotterbeck to Van der Ven, I think, given the injury record. And I know Schlotterbeck's just coming off an injury, but Van der Ven has been through it with his hamstrings and all that. Marquet, big up yourself, Marquet. Chris Richards is a shout. Understated. He kind of goes under the radar because I think Mark Gahey gets the most PR from Crystal Palace as a centre-back, and then Lacroix starting to get recognised a bit more. I think Calvin Richards goes under the radar, if I'm going to be honest. He has been very good. And again, I got to watch him at Wembley. Very good centre-back. Very tidy, efficient, good on the ball. He's good. He's actually good. Murillo. Not over Schlotterbeck for me. Milenkovic, good as well. Van Heck, progressive pass master, says Chills. Van Heck defensively, though, worries me a lot. Very good. You're right. Very good, Chills, with his progressive passing, etc. But worries me defensively. And I don't want to be worried defensively by a defender, especially a centre-back. I can let it go to an extent for a fullback because they can affect the game in different ways. But nah, not Van Heck for me. Shout out to Marcel. I wish I was his agent, bro. If I was his agent, he'd be at Liverpool. I'd be a terrible football agent, guys. I'm telling you from now, I'd be a terrible football agent because all the best players on my roster I'd just be pushing towards Liverpool. I'd be a terrible agent. Salada, Bastoni's the dream, but we know he ain't leaving. Liam Upamecano, not for me, Liam. Not for me, man. Too many mistakes. And I think he'd get exposed a little bit in the Premier League. Do you guys think there's a chance we're going for Mark Gahey in January? Because if we're going for Mark Gahey in January, that gives us our 5 centre-backs for this season. That way, if Konate or Joe Gomez do leave, then you can go and get Schlotterbeck still. Or do we try and get Schlotterbeck in January and wait for Gahey on a free next summer? I think I saw someone mention Lucaba's another shout. If we can't get a Schlotterbeck, maybe a Lucaba. Big Country. Yeah, talk has gone very quiet on Inacio. Inacio was like the real flavor of the month at one stage. He's gone really quiet. I don't know what's going on with Inacio. Saying that though, his centre back partner, Diamonde. Diamonde is a shout. Diamonde looked like he was going to be going to Crystal Palace and that fell through. If there's a player that can actually replicate Konate, but maybe better on the ball than him, I'd probably say Diamonde. He's quick, good at channel defending, strong in the tackle, strong physically, good in the air. The only thing I'd say is just not as experienced as maybe you'd want a centre-back coming into partner Virgil, especially with Virgil getting up there in age as well. Charles Day, definitely not Ezri Konsa for me. Ezri Konsa, I think, is a good player, just not for me. Not for me. Diamonde could be the guy, man. Diamonde. But look, I think we're all in agreement. And if in an ideal world, is Gahey and Schlotterbeck. Gahey does worry me if Gahey's playing in a back two, it worries me more than if he's playing in a back three. If he's playing in a back three, I'm not really worried about Mark Gahey because he's not. He'd play right or left of the sweeper in the back three, which means, in my opinion, he wouldn't be having to go up against strikers too much for aerial duels. Because at the moment, his aerial duels, his percentage is really good, but a lot of the time he's winning these duels against wingers who are typically less physical and shorter than strikers. So I think that stat is a little bit skewed. However, again, I'm not going to downplay Gahey. He's a very good footballer, a very good defender. I don't know in a back two if he'd be suited to how we play. But as I said, if we get Gahey and Schlotterbeck, if we can get Gahey on a free and Schlotterbeck in January, we're laughing. And if that replaces Gomez and the other centre back that we just needed, and Konate stays, that for me puts us in a fantastic position going forward. So we'll see. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. Let me know. Right. Virgil van Dijk has had some stuff to say about Wayne Rooney. So, for context, I think Wayne Rooney spoke about Salah and his lack of leadership, etc. And this is what Virgil van Dijk had to say back. He says, I didn't hear him last year. No, it doesn't hurt me, to be honest. Just come back to this particular player. Obviously a legend, a big player of the game who inspired many. I can say only positive things, but I feel that the comment is just, I would say, a little bit of lazy criticism. That's my personal opinion. It's easy to blame the other players, but he knows, obviously, as well as everyone else, we do it together, trying to help each and every one of us to try and get this. And like I said as well, last year when things were going well, we didn't hear all of that. It is what it is. Now, Virgil's been quite vocal, whether it be putting up posts on Instagram or stories, and then, you know, comments like this. Virgil's been very vocal recently, and Virgil's not someone that minces his words, and I respect that about Virgil. Look, if we're going to sit here and criticize, whether that be us as content creators, as pundits, I think footballers have every single right to respond and say how they feel. We live in this world where we feel as though pundits and content creators, we can say whatever we want, and footballers should just take it on the chin because they make so much money and they get to live out the dreams of so many of us. No, it doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. Virgil has every right to say what he's saying. And look, I respect it even more. He called out people in, if I'm not mistaken, a post-match interview. Say that people online, I think he even mentioned stuff about content creators who, you know, were saying things that he thought were a bit crazy. Look, that could even be directed at people like myself who had some, who you know, expressed my feelings on the situation with Slot, etc. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, how dare Virgil say this and how dare he clap back. No, I've said stuff. Rooney said stuff. Other commentators and pundits have said stuff. Other content creators have said stuff. They're allowed to respond. Virgil van Dijk is Liverpool's captain. This is his job. This is part of his job role, to speak up and be a representative of the rest of the players, to speak up and be a representative of the club. It's why I love him so much. It's why I respect him so much. And again, from experience of interviewing Virgil, the guy is very firm and pause. And he's very He's very straightforward with his words. He doesn't mince his words. He doesn't try and pander to anyone. He doesn't try and, cater to a crowd. He says how he feels, and he'll say it with confidence, and he'll stand 10 toes down and stand on business. And I don't blame him at all. And I rate it. I said pause, guys, man. Don't do this. I said pause. Don't try it. I said pause. I said pause before you guys before I finish my sentence. I know Connor, brother. I know it was wild. You lot never let anything slide, man. Never let anything slide. Never let anything slide. Man said first a shirt, now Virgil. This one, man. Never let anything slide, man. Never let anything slide. Liam said, Cal rating a man's firmness insane. Kusa, you're right, bro. I'm in a losing battle. I'm always in a losing battle against the Kop-ish community. Always. Always in a losing battle. I can't win. This is insane. This is insane. But yes, as I was saying, I want to say personally, shout out to Virgil for calling out whoever he felt the need to call out. And if anyone's offended by it, then you shouldn't speak on it then. I don't think he was rude or disrespectful to Wayne, but he definitely said how he felt. In the same way Rooney said how he felt, Virgil said how he felt. And that's how it should be. And that's what I want my captain to do. I want my captain to stand up for the club. I want my captain to stand up for the rest of the players. This is Liverpool. We're a family club. We stand up for each other when the going gets rough and tough. That's what we do. And the comment section is something else. And Virgil did that, and immensely proud of him doing that, and long may that continue. And we see where it goes. One thing I wanted to speak to you guys about, and we're going to speak about this in more detail as well, guys. Florian Wirtz. Me and Matt will speak about this more in the Monday Night Live show tonight. What's the feeling about Florian Wirtz at the moment? Because I did the Real Madrid preview last night, a late one. So if you haven't seen that already, then please do watch it back on replay. And a lot of people were saying that they'd like to see him playing on the left, which is something I thought of when we first signed him. If we had signed another 10 like a Shirky, remember I was saying sign Shirky and Florian Wirtz. I got told no. Kind of wish we had signed Shirky now, but that's for another day. How do you think this works going forward? Or is it a case of Florian's just going to be on the bench now that McAllister's had a good game, and we kind of see that Slot loves McAllister? I don't know, guys. I don't know, because it's a tricky one at the moment, Florian Wirtz. Because me personally, I think he should be starting. I think he should start ahead of McAllister at the moment, but that doesn't seem to be happening for one reason or another. But at the same time, I also think we need him to click so we can get the best out of Liverpool as well. From a creative standpoint, we've already seen that even not at his best, he still creates. If Kirkes was allowed to play his natural game and wasn't part of a back three in build-up, and Kirkes was a marauding fullback, which is what he was doing at Bournemouth, then I think it works. I genuinely think it works. But if it's Robbo, I don't think it does. Big up Pimp. Is he a firm starter? This is what I mean. I'm never going to live that comment down there. I can't win. I can't win with you guys. So, no, guys, before we do the super chats and wrap things up, I genuinely kind of want to gauge the temperature on how you're feeling about Wirtz and where you think he should be deployed and what you think we should do, because I don't care about the money spent on him. That's spent now. That's done. But how do we use him to get the best out of Liverpool and the best out of him? Who comes out of the team for him? Who has to play around him to get the best out of him? So do let me know, guys, and then obviously we'll go into more detail about that this evening. Right, let's hit up these super chats. Shout out to Football Bloods TV, the best Man United fans about. Quick question, Cal. If Liverpool are 3 points in second, compete with Arsenal with 3 games to go, and in the semi-finals of the Champions League, which will Liverpool prioritize? Choose one. I'm the wrong football bloods. You know, I'm the wrong person to ask that question because you know what I'm saying. I'm going for both. Do I think Liverpool prioritize one over the other? Maybe they'll, with 3 games to go, they'd probably prioritize the Champions League because the Champions League is more in Liverpool's hands than the Premier League. In the Premier League, at that point, you'd be basically at Arsenal's mercy. If they slip up, then you take advantage. If they don't, then there's nothing you can do about it. So maybe they'd prioritize the Champions League. If it's me, bro, I'm going for both. I'm going for broke, man. Shout out to John, both of them. Shout out to Mons, both of them. Has to be done. Shout out to Aquia, big up Cal, big up yourself, bro. Hope you and the family are well. Big up Just Lab says, Cal, where's the denim shirt? Look great on you. Wow, with the purple face as well. Cool, sweet, safe. Thanks for the super chat, bro. Big up Mark. A says, love you, Cal. Big up yourself, Mark. Hope you're well, bruv. Slot Out says, that's why we need Semenyo, Cal, to help Kirkes. I just think we need Semenyo because he's a fantastic winger. Do you know what? I'm gonna leave with this. I'm gonna leave with this question. Semenyo's had a great start to the window, but a lot of people weren't mentioning Semenyo to sign for Liverpool. So is it just a case of form has changed people's opinions, or is this a player that you think could help another level? Wow, Maze, this is harsh, Maze. Maze, I think the super chat was being a bit tongue in cheek. Atrocious is a very harsh word, but cool. I mean, don't mince your words, bro. Say how you feel. Big up yourself, Uncle Rods. Hope you and the family are well, brother. But yeah, if we can sign one winger in January, whether that be Semenyo, Rodrigo, we try for Rafael Leao or Antonio Nunes or someone like that, who would it be and why? So that's a comment. That's a question for the comment section. People, look, I'm going to wrap up here. I'm going to be live over on the Sanderson show in about 5-10 minutes to do a show over there. So please do join me over there. I'm on the road to 8,000 subs over there as well. So I'd be really, really grateful if I could get to 8,000, and I'd need your help, guys. So a shameless plug, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'd be greatly appreciative of your help. In fact, I'll drop the link to the channel in the comment section because I could do with a little bit of help, guys. I'd be very grateful if you could subscribe to that channel. I'm trying to get to 10K by the end of the year. That's going to be a push, but I'm going to try a thing and see where it goes. So join me over there. My day's a little bit all over the place because I've got a few personal things going on today. But I'm hopefully going to be on Hassam's show. But I won't probably be there until a bit later on in the show. Then I will be on Never a Foul for a little bit. And then I'm not sure what's going on with the Great 8 show yet. But then we'll have our Monday Night Live show. And then I'll be on Monster's channel. So people, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and to the Sanderson show. Link is in the chat. And people, enough love to you all. Big up to all of you. Have a fantastic Monday. And yeah, I'll see you throughout the day, people. Stay safe, stay blessed. Kopish, and I'm out. Take care.